A recent event in the skies above the waters off Cagayan has once again highlighted the growing tensions in our region. A Philippine Coast Guard aircraft, while on a routine patrol, identified a Chinese research vessel operating in the area. The Filipino pilots bravely issued a challenge to the foreign ship, questioning its presence within our nation's maritime jurisdiction. This was not just a simple radio call, it was a firm declaration of our country's sovereign rights over its own territory. The action taken by our Coast Guard demonstrates a commitment to monitoring and protecting what legally belongs to the Filipino people, sending a clear message that we are watching our waters closely. The presence of a Chinese research vessel so close to our northern shores is a cause for significant concern. These ships are often suspected of mapping the seabed, not just for scientific purposes, but also for potential military or economic exploitation. They could be searching for valuable resources like oil and natural gas, or they could be gathering data that might be used to monitor submarine movements. For the Philippines, this kind of activity is seen as an intrusion and a direct challenge to our authority. Our government has a duty to understand the intentions behind such missions and to ensure they do not undermine our national security or economic interests. This particular incident near Cagayan is part of a much larger, more complex picture of maritime disputes. It represents a clear pattern of behavior where China asserts its presence in areas that international law recognizes as belonging to other nations. The Philippines, under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has adopted a more assertive stance in defending our territory. This includes increasing air and sea patrols to document and challenge any unauthorized activities within our exclusive economic zone. The challenge from the sky is a modern-day testament to our unwavering resolve to stand up for our rights against a much larger neighbor. The response from our pilots and the Philippine Coast Guard is a source of national pride, but it also underscores the delicate and often dangerous nature of these encounters. Every time one of our planes or ships confronts a foreign vessel, there is a risk of miscalculation or escalation. Our service members are on the front lines, tasked with upholding the law in a high-stakes environment. Their professionalism and courage are essential in navigating these tense situations, ensuring that our sovereignty is asserted without provoking unnecessary conflict. Their actions serve as a constant reminder of the daily challenges we face in safeguarding our maritime domain. The South China Sea is not just a vast expanse of water, it is one of the most important maritime crossroads in the world. A huge portion of global trade, valued in the trillions of dollars, passes through its shipping lanes every year. For countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and even a global power like the United States, keeping these lanes open and safe is crucial for economic stability. Any disruption in this area could have a ripple effect on economies across the globe, affecting the prices and availability of goods that we all depend on. It is a vital artery for international commerce and prosperity. For the Philippines, the sea holds an even more direct and personal importance. The waters within our exclusive economic zone are rich with marine life, providing a livelihood for countless Filipino fishing communities. These fishing grounds are essential for our country's food security, putting food on the tables of millions of families. Furthermore, beneath the seabed lies the promise of significant oil and natural gas reserves. Properly exploring and developing these resources could be transformative for our nation's energy independence and economic future. The sea is, quite simply, a source of life and a key to our national development. China, however, views the sea through a different lens, one shaped by its historical claims and strategic ambitions. It asserts sovereignty over nearly the entire South China Sea using its controversial nine-dash line, a claim that was invalidated by an international tribunal in 2016. For Beijing, control over this area is about securing its energy supply lines, expanding its military footprint, and projecting its power across the Indo-Pacific region. This ambition directly clashes with the sovereign rights of its smaller neighbors, including the Philippines, creating a persistent source of friction and mistrust in the region. This fundamental conflict of interests is the root cause of the ongoing tensions. While the Philippines defends its internationally recognized rights under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, China insists on its own historical claims. This disagreement is not just about rocks and reefs, it is about the very principles that govern international relations. It is a contest between a rules-based international order and the idea that might makes right. For the Philippines and its allies, upholding the rule of law in the South China Sea is essential for maintaining peace and stability for all nations. The recent aerial challenge near Cagayan is just one of many incidents that reveal a worrying pattern of aggression in our waters. On the sea itself, the confrontations have become more frequent and more dangerous. For instance, the Philippine Coast Guard vessel, BRP Teresa Magbanua, endured a grueling 5-month mission at Sabina Shoal, which is well within our territory. During its deployment, the ship and its crew faced constant harassment from Chinese vessels. This included dangerous maneuvers and blockades intended to intimidate our personnel and disrupt their lawful mission to protect our maritime resources. The situation has escalated beyond mere harassment to outright physical confrontations. In August 2024, the Philippine Coast Guard accused the China Coast Guard of deliberately ramming the BRP Teresa Magbanua, causing damage to our ship. This was not an accident. It was a calculated act of aggression designed to assert dominance and force our vessel to retreat. These ramming incidents, which have happened on multiple occasions, put the lives of our Filipino crew members at serious risk. They are a clear violation of maritime safety regulations and a blatant disregard for international norms of behavior at sea. Another flashpoint has been our resupply missions to the BRP Sierra Madre, our military outpost at Ayungin Shoal. These are humanitarian missions intended to bring food, water, and other essential provisions to the Filipino soldiers stationed there. Yet, Chinese vessels have repeatedly used powerful water cannons against our much smaller supply boats. They have created dangerous blockades and engaged in reckless maneuvers to prevent these vital supplies from reaching our troops. These actions not only endanger our people, but also threaten to create a humanitarian crisis for the soldiers defending our sovereign rights. These examples paint a clear and disturbing picture. The incidents are not isolated. They are part of a coordinated strategy to wear down our resolve and force the Philippines to abandon its rightful claims. From Sabina Shoal to Ayungin Shoal, from the coast of Zambales to the waters off Cagayan, the pressure is constant. Our brave men and women in the Coast Guard and the Navy face these threats on a daily basis. Their resilience in the face of such hostility is a testament to their dedication to defending every inch of our territory against foreign encroachment. The constant tension in the South China Sea has a real and immediate impact on the lives of ordinary Filipinos. Our fishermen are often the first to suffer. They report being chased away from their traditional fishing grounds by large Chinese vessels, losing their catch and their means of earning a living. For these families, the geopolitical dispute is not an abstract concept. It is a direct threat to their survival. They are losing access to the very resources that have sustained their communities for generations, all because of another country's aggressive actions in our own waters. These incidents also create a deep sense of insecurity for our nation as a whole. The aggressive behavior of Chinese vessels, backed by their powerful military, poses a direct challenge to our national security. It forces our country to divert precious resources to military modernization and defense. The Philippines is currently undertaking a $35 billion military upgrade program and increasing joint exercises with allies like the United States. While necessary for our defense, these are resources that could otherwise be spent on education, healthcare, and infrastructure to improve the lives of our people. The presence of foreign military assets, such as the United States Typhoon missile system deployed in the Philippines, further complicates the situation. While intended to act as a deterrent and strengthen our defense posture, it also raises the stakes and draws criticism from China, which sees it as a provocation. This creates a cycle of action and reaction that makes the region more militarized and less stable. It turns our country into a potential theater of conflict between major powers, a position that no nation desires. The safety and well-being of our citizens are caught in the middle of this geopolitical tug-of-war. Ultimately, the path forward must be one of peace, dialogue, and respect for international law. The sea must be a zone of cooperation, not a source of conflict. It is vital for all nations to work together to ensure freedom of navigation and to manage resources sustainably for the benefit of everyone. Upholding the 2016 arbitral ruling provides a clear and legal basis for resolving these disputes peacefully. A safe and stable South China Sea is essential not just for the Philippines, but for the peace and prosperity of the entire world. We must continue to stand firm in our rights while always pursuing a peaceful resolution.